What is up, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and I'm back for another YouTube video breakdown, free picks, player props, and predictions for today, February 3rd, man, 2025. Damn, 2025 is flying, man, and I cannot believe it's already the second month, but we've been absolutely killing 2025 to start the year. We're up over 30 units, so if you're $100 better, you're up around $3,000 to start the year so far, man. So it's been an incredible start to the year. But guys, if you want to see me and keep on having me come up here to drop these plays, these breakdowns, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit that thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. It really helps me push this video to more people. We're at over 1,000 subs. My goal is to get to 5,000 by the end of the year, man. It's not that crazy of a goal, I think. But I think with the value I've been bringing, the winners I've been bringing, it's definitely doable. The last time I came up here, I went 3-1 on the player props. I wanted to switch it back, go to the game breakdown. So this will be a little bit of a longer video. So guys, just get your popcorn ready, get that pen and paper out, and let's go talk about some of the games, man. But look, you did want to join me to get every single play that we've been rocking in premium, so you get winners just like these. We're up over 6 units to start this month, but I mean, just to start the week. Last week, we had a winning week once again. I have not had a losing one yet, man, so I want to keep it going. But if you did want to get in for a free week, you didn't want to pay, you wanted to try something, get in for a week free, but also get some bonus money, say get on with me, man. Get on this new app that's available in 42 states, a new sports book called Novig. It's called Novig because there's a lot less juice when you're making your bets, because they operate primarily with peer-to-peer betting or an exchange type system. So in other words, let's say you want to bet the Super Bowl this week, Chiefs versus the Eagles. Instead of paying -110 for the spread, you get -105. I've even had scenarios where my bets were 10% less expensive betting on Novig than on a normal sportsbook like FanDuel and DraftKings. So guys, the one way you could beat the sportsbook is by not paying as much juice, getting the best odds, line shopping. And I know some of you hate having 5 books if you've been following me for a long time, but this may be the new thing, man. It's maybe a lot better if you want to just bet on one book, not have to worry about it, get the least juice possible, getting the best price possible. So I'd say try it out. If you do sign up using our code LOCK, you get a 50% deposit discount on your first deposit, and I also throw in a free week in premium for doing so. All right, guys, let's get straight into the video, man. I want to start talking about the games right now. So let's start talking about the games, man. The first game we have on the board is the Washington Wizards against the Charlotte Hornets. Talk about the toilet bowl of the NBA, but looks like we're going to have, another interesting game. The one thing I will say about this game is that injuries are definitely a big part of the game. So definitely always be aware of the injury report. But the main thing about this injury report is, it's not on here, but Malcolm Brogdon is back for the Washington Wizards, and they actually got a victory last time out, and they played against the Timberwolves. Wizards are probably the worst team in all metrics, defense, offense. It's terrible, but I guess they got a win. Nope, but there was no Edwards or Julius Randle in that game. So, I mean, were they really playing the best Timberwolves team? No, but the Hornets have not been doing that great either, man. No LaMelo Ball, no Trey Mann, no Cody Martin, no Brandon Miller, and Mikic, or however you say his name, he may be out. He's a big offensive piece. He's the main ball handler when LaMelo Ball and all these guys are out. So they may just be with Miles Bridges, to be honest. And this game, man, is very tough. Hornets have been so defensively terrible. The offense is one of the worst offenses, along with the Wizards when they don't have LaMelo Ball. It's a very, very tough game, man. I mean, do the Wizards look really high up because they got a nice victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves? I mean, I guess. I mean, Charlotte has not been doing that great. They've been covering big spreads, but obviously this is a much different type of game. Wizards have been terrible everywhere. I'm not in love with this game, but I think I like some props in this game. I mean, obviously, you can look at Mark Williams, you can look at Malcolm Brogdon, if he's going to be playing full minutes. Be aware of that injury report. But in this game, I mean, I think it's a 50-50 type game given all the injuries. Obviously, be aware of that injury I said about Mikic. That's pretty big, in my opinion. So, in this game, man, I'll probably roll with the Wizards +4, but I'm not in love with the game. I think either team can really win it. It's really, I didn't game for props. Both defenses have been terrible, but the offenses have been bad as well. So we'll see. Not in love with the game, though, to be perfectly honest. Next game we got on the board. This is a pretty good game. Obviously, we just saw the Pistons play. We got the Pistons against the Atlanta Hawks. And, man, yesterday I had Kate Cunningham over 37.5 PR points and assists, and he got 37 on the dot. They took an assist away, else I would have won. Go figure, bro. I mean, but hey, Detroit has been stepping it up. They're just over 500 again. They can definitely make a playoff run in terms of getting into the wild card, in my opinion. But they're right there, man. Their season's there for the taking. And I think they got a decent matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, the Pistons aren't a back-to-back. They just played against the Bulls. A game where, I mean, I thought the Pistons were, having a tough time in the beginning, man. But eventually they stepped up. They got the job done, got the win and the cover. They did play at home. So this is a back-to-back with no travel. And they're a young team, man. So it's going to affect them too much. Atlanta, they do have some injuries. Bogdanovich is out. But I think the whole personal thing is that he's really he might get traded. Clint Capella is still out. Jalen Johnson's out for the season, so that's kind of unfortunate. He's been a big piece of that team. But I think Trae Young is going to be playing. In terms of the Pistons side, Ivy's the only guy not playing. But I think Pistons, look, I mean, they're a pretty balanced team. They could be from everywhere. They can drive it to the rim. They can shoot threes. Hawks, obviously, they've had some defensive flaws. Usually you wouldn't have expected this from the beginning of the season, right? I think, even on the back-to-back, I mean, Detroit, I want to show you guys one thing that's pretty interesting. So if we take a look at the back-to-back, they have not been good at covering on back-to-back games. In their last, I guess, call it 5 games, they're 1-2-1, 1-2-1 at the spread. Depending on what Golden State you might have covered, to be honest, but I'm not sure. And then for the rest of the games, I mean, they got big spreads here and they covered. And then in other games, they lost outright. So the Hawks, I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, on the home-to-home side, though, I mean, Detroit's done the same thing, basically. So I'm not in love with betting a spread. I like the props in this game. I think this game could be a fast-paced game, a high-scoring type game. There's a lot of good matchups in this game. If I was to pick a side, man, I mean, I still think Detroit's the better team. We take a look. Let's see. Take away from this whole rest. Go head-to-head. I mean, the last time they played, which was back in November, Detroit won this game by 1 point, and that was in Atlanta. Atlanta, they've been an okay home team. They've actually been a pretty bad home team historically when they've been getting a lot of points, but Detroit's still been the favorite, man. But I think with all the injuries and things that have been going on in Atlanta, I think Detroit can still win even on the back-to-back. This number's a little bit high. I would have loved the 3. And I think this line did open up at 3 or 3.5. So goes to show you, I mean, I'm right on the money, man. I think there might be slight value with Atlanta, but I don't know. Atlanta's not been looking that great, man. So I'll probably lean with Detroit in this game. Give me Detroit -4, but yeah, that's why I'll lean in this one. All right, we got a few more games, man. So again, guys, look, if you're not been already rocking with me, you want to see more videos like this and these breakdowns, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And let's talk about the next. This game's another good one, man. Houston Rockets against the New York Knicks. And the main thing, again, man, I have to keep on saying it, is the injury report, bro. The injuries are just so annoying, bro. Like, Alperen Sengun's a game-time decision. He did not play in his last game. But Fred VanVleet is out, and that's a huge injury. He is the main ball handler, basically the vet on the team. On the Knicks side, they're also not clean about injuries as well. No OG Anunoby, possibly. Josh Hart's a game-time decision, but he's been like that almost every game. So I don't know, man. In terms of where the bets are at, it looks like, there's some money on, it's kind of even on the spread. People are betting Knicks money line, obviously, like they're probably putting their parlays. But the Houston Rockets actually have been a pretty good road covering team. But they're the better road covering teams. And it wasn't like that. Actually, they're a much better home covering team than a road covering team. But it's definitely flipped so far. I mean, last time they played in Brooklyn, they did not get the job. I'm sorry. But I think they were on there were some people that were out. Sengun was out. It was a really tough road spot. Brooklyn got back Ben Simmons. So, I mean, pretty surprising loss, but they got blown out, honestly. So that was pretty crazy. Knicks, they just got blown out as well against the Lakers with no AD. So, I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, the one thing about Houston now say that they have a big advantage is the rebounding. But the Knicks are also on their own right, have been a pretty good rebounding team. Number 1 defensive rebounding team against one of the best offensive rebounding teams. So that's the main reason why Houston's been able to get a lot of second chance buckets, even though their offensive rating hasn't been the best, in my opinion. So in this game, man, it's a tough one, bro. Like, no Fred VanVleet, the possibility of Sengun not playing, but I'd say look out for the injury report. If Sengun plays, and then I guess if OG's out or OG doesn't, OG tweaked his ankle, I think he's probably going to play. I like props more in this game, to be honest, but if I have to pick a side, man, I don't love the Rockets of Van Fleet. So I'll probably roll with the Knicks 5.5. I'm not super confident in this one. I could definitely see it where the Rockets also still get the dub. But you need to know if Sengun's playing or not, because if he's not playing, it's a big injury to be missing one of your star players. So I will begrudgingly take the Knicks. But I'm not in love with this bet. Just like I guess some of the spreads, man, it's hard. The injury report is what you need to know. So guys, obviously, I'm not a complete fortune teller, but use the information for what I'm saying right now. These are things you have to look out for in this game if you want to bet it. I would not want to go bet this without this information. Even though people try to beat the lines and get ahead of the information, I mean, you could do that, but you have to accept the line movement after the news comes out. So hopefully you're on the right side of it for whatever you're looking for. All right, next game, the Sacramento Kings against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Man, the trade's been done, man. Fox will be going to the Spurs, so now he's got Malik Monk as the point guard, the main point guard. What a change. And it looks like Zach LaVine, he will be on the team, but he's not going to be playing. I think he's still out. On the Timberwolves side, I think Anthony Edwards will be coming back after they lost to the Wizards. I don't know if people are going to be blinding the Kings, but in terms of, I guess, like the map now and where the line has been, so I think the Timberwolves, I don't like laying points to them a lot of times, but Kings defense has been absolutely terrible. They've had one of the weakest defenses in the last 7 days, to be honest. So they've been scoring a lot, but they have not been defending well. And I think this game really depends if Edwards is playing. I think he is going to play. It seems all indications I've seen, he is going to play. There's still no Julius Randle, though. So both teams will be missing players. Yeah, I'm not in love with this Kings defense. Obviously, missing De'Aaron Fox is a big blow to them, and they'll have to use probably I don't know who they're gonna have as off the bench coming. I don't know if Hurt is gonna start playing until LaVine plays, but obviously be ready for, man. It really does depend. But Minnesota's also missing Randall, so it's not a good situation either way. Minnesota, I mean, their defense did not look good. They got beat by one of the worst offensive teams in the NBA against the Wizards. But I think they bounced back here back at home, getting Edwards back. Should be a fast-paced game, high-scoring game possibly, even though Minnesota has typically played really good defense. But I think even though I don't like Julius Randle, he has pretty good defense. In terms of where the alignment has been going, I mean, it opened up on, like, let's see. I don't think it opened at 1. That was a long time. But, I mean, they could open at 1. I saw it open up around, like, 4, 3.5. So now it's at 4.5. I think that line's pretty fair. I'll probably roll with the Timberwolves in this game. The Kings won't be, I think, 100% until they figure out how to incorporate LaVine, because they're basically playing with one less big star player, man. So, but I think this is a good game for props, though. Total is still pretty high for a Timberwolves game, 221. So it's a good game for props for sure, in my opinion. All right, guys, let's see. Let's keep it rolling, baby. We got another game right here. The San Antonio Spurs against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis just played last night against the Bucks. They got the job done, man. 132-119, man. Damn, this game, I had the first half over. That loss, I should have bet the whole game over because that would have won. They got over in the second half. They started scoring like crazy, bro. But Memphis is a very, very good team. Even without Ja and all these injuries, man, they still get the job done time and time again. But San Antonio, man, they will be having one of their guys back. If you take a look, they will be getting back. I believe they'll be getting, I don't see them on the report anymore. They will be getting Jeremy Sohan back in the fold. That's going to be a huge one for them. And I think it's going to be a good one. Ja Morant, he might be coming back. He's a game time decision. On a back-to-back, even so, right, you would think that's a disadvantage, but the Memphis should be one of the best back-to-back teams in the NBA. In their last 5 games, they covered 4 of their 5 back-to-back games. So, hey, man, I mean, this might not be too bad. I think this game is a game that they could possibly win. Obviously, it's a lot different if Sohan's back. They have a big defensive step up. We'll see if Ja Morant comes back. Again, it's tough at the injury report to really make a decision, but I do think Memphis pace, their offense, their defense, they're more well-rounded team. I think they have the size to cover Wembanyama. They have the shooting, everything, man. The team is very, very deep. San Antonio, I think, won't be having, I don't know if De'Aaron Fox will play. All indications say that I don't think he's going to be playing yet. But if he does, man, that'd be that'll be interesting to see how he gets integrated the first day. But as of right now, I'll roll with the Memphis Grizzlies -4.5. I do think the matchup is still good for them, even with all the changes that have been going on. Let's see if Ja Morant comes back, though. But the injury report's probably the biggest thing because De'Aaron Fox comes in. I don't know if he's going to be able to play like 100% and the chemistry to be 100% just coming back. But we'll see, man. Lines at 5.5. I saw 4.5 in some other ones, or 4. So definitely lines if you can. All right, guys. Let's keep it going. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 6 games, I'm sorry. Spurs didn't play a doubleheader. Let's talk about the next game, man. The Milwaukee Bucks against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Simply put, man, Milwaukee Bucks just played yesterday. Got their butts whooped by the Memphis Grizzlies. Injuries, we'll see. I mean, right now, no one's listed for Milwaukee in terms of the main guys. Like, no Lillard, no Giannis. On the Thunder side, Caruso might come back. Casey Wallace might come back. But in terms of that, let's see, Jalen Williams might come back. So, I don't know, man. OKC has been winning, but they have not been playing that well. This is a big number for them to cover. Milwaukee, they have not been the best on a back-to-back. We fade them on a back-to-back against the Timberwolves, against the Trailblazers, who have been red hot, by the way. But OKC, not been the best team, man, covering these big numbers. Kind of like Boston right now. Boston, they've not been covering big numbers either. So, I mean, with the Thunder missing so many guys, I'm not really super confident, even though Milwaukee's not been the best at covering these big numbers on back-to-backs. We'll see if they sit anyone out. Obviously, this could be a revenge spot for OKC. They obviously got beat in that cup game. So, I mean, this is a big number, man. I mean, this is a huge number with all the deficiencies that OKC has had. And obviously, look, the last time is a revenge game at home. I mean, look, I think OKC, they get it together, though. I think they probably step it up. We'll see if Milwaukee plays everyone. If they don't play everyone, this number will go to 13 very quick. So I take my shot, man, with OKC in terms of where the money's at. Looks like a lot of people are betting on OKC. So we'll see, man. I might be with the public on this one, but I think OKC, with the Bucks being on a back-to-back in a revenge spot, it's a good spot for OKC to get a nice big blowout victory, but we'll see. We gotta wait for the injury report, man. All right, next game, we got a good one, bro, because this one's gonna be interesting. Indiana Pacers against the Utah Jazz. Indiana laying 7.5 points on the road. I thought I saw some 7s or 6.5, so maybe this line has moved quick, but yeah, it looks like this line may have moved that fast, but let's see where the 6.5s are at. Half. You had -125 on DraftKings, and then -130 on FanDuel. I mean, you're paying up for less juice, but all right, let's see like 7.5. Indiana, man, have been one of the better teams in the last month. One of the best offensive, defensive rated teams. The big thing is, and the numbers don't show, is that the Jazz have everyone back, man. I mean, Lauri Markkanen's back. Collins is supposed to be back. I mean, they're going to have Isaiah Collier starting. They have Sexton. I mean, everyone is going to be playing. Jordan Clarkson. So we haven't had a really full, strong Jazz team in a long time. Good three-point team. Good rebounding team when all healthy. So it's a tough game for me to cap because even though the Pacers have been doing so well, when the Jazz have been healthy, they've been a really, really strong team. So I honestly think this might be too many points for the Jazz. I mean, for the Pacers, even though the Jazz have not been good at covering at all. So Jazz at home has not been a good spot over the season. But again, they had everyone injured. I think there's too many points. I think maybe we can bet on the Jazz at +7.5. I think there's too many points. If this line keeps on getting pushed up to 8, if it gets to 8.5, I think the Jazz is a live dog in my opinion. So give me the Jazz +7.5 at this point. But look at the injury report, obviously. I mean, I've had situations many times this year so far, even the last month, where everyone in the Jazz team was listed to play, and then Collins, Markkanen all sat. So be careful, guys. Now we got the late slate. New Orleans Pelicans against the Denver Chicken Nuggets, man. Denver laying 10.5 points at home. And look, their defense is definitely taking a step down. They will be about one of their main guys, man, in Russell Westbrook, bro. He's been really vibing with Jokic, obviously. On the Pelican side, still no Ingram. He might get traded. Herbert Jones been out. DeJounte Murray out for the season, bro. So that's a big loss for them. Obviously, now it's going to be mainly McCollum, And damn, I mean, it's a tough loss, bro. DeJounte, I think he's a great player, but it is what it is, man. But you have Trey Murphy, obviously, also playing as well. I don't know if Zion's playing. I don't see him listed here, so maybe he's playing on the team. But nonetheless, I think there's a lot of points. I think even though the Nuggets have been playing so well, their defensive struggles have been so terrible. I'm not trying to lay this many points, even with all the injuries on the Pelicans. If Zion plays, which I don't see him on this list right now, I always say if Zion plays, Pelicans are always a live team to cover. So I'll take the Pelicans plus the 11 points. I know the Nuggets have been rolling. They've been on a groove. They just came up with a big victory all against the Knicks. But missing Westbrook, I think, is big. And their flaws have been so much. But I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to lay this many points with the Nuggets, even though they're at home where they play very, very well, man. Nuggets play very good at home historically, but I think there's too many points. They have not been the same team, both on the defensive side, but definitely have stepped up the offense. But I think without Westbrook, it's not something I'm trying to lay this many points. All right, guys, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the last two games on the board. 10 o'clock games, Phoenix Suns against the Portland Trailblazers. There's a revenge game, bro. Portland just beat the brakes off the Phoenix Suns, but again, there's a different spot. Phoenix are on a back-to-back. We're on a back-to-back after a big victory where we took them in the first half, or the first quarter, I'm sorry, against the Golden State Warriors, and then we faded them next game. Obviously, it's a much different game. We'll see who ends up playing for the Trailblazers, but I mean, I don't see any big injuries on either side. I think, personally, honestly, the situation favored the Trailblazers, so they won that game outright. I think the Suns will have a much better step-up game. The thing is, I don't know if they can still lose, bro. I mean, I thought it was still a good matchup regardless of the back-to-back. So that's why they're favored now even more than last time at 4.5. People automatically think they're going to get revenge, but this Trailblazers team has been red hot, man. So I'm going to do it again, man. Give me the Trailblazers plus 5.5. They've been a wagon for us. I don't see why they can't win this game outright again. But obviously, Phoenix Suns do have this revenge, and they're not on a back-to-back, so they're rested. So I will say that it definitely is a much more favorable Phoenix Suns spot. But I still think the matchup still favors the Trailblazers. Maybe they get a little bit lazy after that big win. They've been on a huge winning streak, but there's no reason for me to fade them right now. But I will say this game should definitely be much, 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 much more competitive, and I can definitely see the Phoenix Suns winning. It will be a close one. I think they'll win by 4 points. All right, last game, man. Two teams that have fallen from grace. Orlando Magic against the Golden State Warriors, man. And guys, the last game on the board, man. Again, if you've been enjoying this, man, please hit that subscribe button. And let's get some winners, man. Let's talk about the last game on the board. Orlando Magic against the Golden State Warriors. Close spread, bro. I mean, Golden State not been playing well. Orlando, man, we'll see what they're doing, bro, but they have not stepped up in any fashion. The one thing, the big one is Draymond Green will be back for the Warriors from all indications. They still don't have Jonathan Kuminga, and since Draymond Green's been out, the defense for the Warriors have definitely taken a step down. Jalen Suggs might be playing for the Magic. That would be huge if he does play, because I think he's like a weird energy defense, offensive piece. So this game's very tough in a kind of like pick 'em type game. The Magic defense has not also been that great either, even though they've had historically been a really good defense. But I think they're getting back into the groove. Magic is also very attractive. I don't give a fuck if Draymond Green's playing or not, but look at him getting smoked against every bro. The Warriors, right, have not been doing that great either, but they've gotten some dubs, man. They they lost against the Suns. They covered against OKC and beat them outright. Covered against Utah, beat them outright. I don't know, man. I personally think the Magic, they're gonna bounce back in this game. Golden State has not been that impressive to me at all. I know Orlando has not been looking that impressive, but this spread is very close for a reason. I think they step up back in this game, even with all the losses. It's a tough road spot as well. So I might be falling to a trap. Something in my gut tells me that the Warriors, it looks too attractive to bet them right now, -2.5, with Draymond coming back. That a lot of people are on the Magic according to this, but the public bets allow them on the Warriors. So I like Orlando plus 2.5. Give me that for the last game on the board, guys. And guys, thank you so much for watching me. If you have any questions, make sure you give me a shout out on Instagram, and let's go get some money, baby.